Alrighty, this is a clicking tutorial series. Not necessarily for the public, but for people like Freddy and Fredinator who want to learn how to do simple clicking coding shit. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna do fucking retard code from like 2020 because I fucking hate that shit. That shit pisses me off because I have improved since then and I'm not gonna be an idiot. But I will be using placeholder sounds and stuff like that, maybe from other games and all that other stuff. Just so I can get interest on how you guys can get all this done. Usually what I like to do is, of course, name it, you double click on it. We usually click once, it highlights, you name it whatever. And then I start down at the properties. Usually I go down here, where it says, properties of the application. You go to build options and you compress the sounds. Have the compression level at maximum. And the optimization events. All these are on like this by default. All these are the default settings when you hit new application up here. So everything will be alright in this case. But usually what I like to do is that I like to have the border color in black. And then I would change the size to whatever render you want it to be. Usually I just have it at 720p. It'll actually, this, you just go ahead and hit yes. You can go ahead and turn the menu bar and stuff off. You won't be needing any of this anytime soon. And then these are all personal preferences, but you don't really need any of this, but I like to turn it on, keep this on, and keep that on. All these three options you can keep on, but these are personal preferences. Usually you would turn this on, which actually we are going to turn this on, but sometimes I don't, but I recommend turning that on for your first time. You can leave this how it is. You can leave this out as well. Turn these on. The output you put in the same one as the top. Everything else stays the same. Turn this on as well though. If you have Click Team, or if you have regular Click Team, all this won't show, but I have the developer version, so all this will show. You can go ahead and fill this up, author, copyright. You're gonna have to put Scott Cawthon since this is a fan game. So yeah, about text, all that stuff. Yeah, whatever, you can put it in, whatever you want. Gonna put GGX. Now usually in this setting, you go ahead and have to use high performance for the GPU. Usually if it has like 2 GPUs and like the laptop or something like that, you go ahead and use the second one so you can have better performance. That's usually what that's for. All these properties on top. These won't matter. This won't matter until later on. And then this won't matter until later on either. But now that we got the properties done for the game, we can go ahead and get to the actual part, which is making the menu. Now I'm going to use test renders from the one with the Night of Freddy's update that I'll never really finish. And we'll just go from there. So you're going to want to click on the frame that's empty, since you just made one. If you want to make a new frame, you go ahead and hit the little empty spot, 2, 3, hit that. Yeah, and then you go there, you hit the number, and then it'll go to it. But we're not. Obviously, if you want to highlight it, you just hit this, hold shift, it'll highlight all of them. I'm just going to delete them. Yes. Usually when I highlight it, this is the first thing you go to. The properties of the frame. Obviously, we're going to change the background color to black. And that's usually it for that. We don't really need anything else. Alright. So now we got the gist of that done, how we can get to it. Now we're going to know how to code the game. First, we're going to implement the images. Usually you can right click and hit insert object, but you can also double click and get to the same thing. So if you insert object, it gets here. You double click, it gets here. That's mostly for Fredinator to understand. But yeah. Oh, you're going to want to have to go up here. See where this says this magnet, snap to grip? Or snap to grid? Usually if you don't have that on, it freely moves wherever. But I like to have it on just so I can easily like snap and get to like the top. So yeah. Either you can right click on the object you just added and hit edit, or you can just double click on it as well. Either way works, either way. Now you can go to import up here and implement your images. I use one blend out Freddy's in this example. Then we add the images. Usually you would go for the one that has number 1. If you're using a type like this, you can go ahead and add it, you know, like if you make your renders okay, this is hard for me to explain because I've never done tutorials like this. But basically, depending on the file name you put, if you put 1 and then 2, 3, and 4, ClickTeam can just automatically like put it in the order of the numbers you put in. So it's easy to just put in. Jesus Christ, I put the wrong files. That's the wrong file too. These are all unlisted, so no one outside the public will be seeing this, just people. So if I leak something, it wouldn't really matter, since no one's really seeing it. Okay, so wherever you put your menu renders, go ahead and put them in. There's only 16 because Fred made like 16 renders, but you usually start from number 1, and you go and click open. You'll get this at your start, but usually you'd have to change the transparent color. You hit pick. No, you double click on the color. And you pick some like light pink or whatever. It doesn't really matter. The hotspot and the action point you're going to want to have at top left, both of them. And then you can, keep the original hotspots. You're not going to need this. Keep this on. Always at all times. And then you're going to have to import sound animation. Now, ClickTeam will remember this, so sometimes you'll have to turn it off. Turn it off, turn it on. Either way. And then look, see, it'll automatically remember the order you put it in. That's why I put it in numbers. Just so you can easily, like, import shit in. From like 1 to 16. So now we're going to import those in. And it all added them in. Oh, wait. One more thing. We'll go back to what we did. But make sure you have crop images as well. You're going to need to crop these optimized to get. See where it says frames right here. You can go ahead and go to direction options. Put the speed at 0. And that's really it. Since we're just doing the menu, this is what it'll look like. What we're first going to want to have to add is the twitches for the menu. But me personally, I like to add a little bit of creativity to it. So I'm just going to do a little bit more than just that because I'm just cool like that. And yeah, gonna see how this goes. Now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and go to the frame editor right here. There's this little editor. You know, it has this little checker stuff. We're going to want to go here. And I'm just going to start off with a new condition. These timers can help you, like, go like how many seconds you want to, like, do certain things. Or, like, depending on how long the frames are going, you can set on the time equals thing. But we won't be worrying about that right now. Right now we're going to be seeing how we can switch between the characters. We can see how that goes real quick. We're going to want to add every 10 seconds, at least for this case, with like... You can't just add this all willy-nilly. Like, you'd have to have this amount of twitches. And, yeah. Like 3 twitches, and then the characters, normal poses, and then shit like this. So you can't just add all this randomly. This is really for the animation sequence switches. So if you don't have any extra characters, you don't really have to see this part. But what you will want to do if you do have that is go ahead and go to the alter values and set. Alter values are really important. They're like your go-to on how to make like your whole entire games work. Like, it's literally the go-to option for anything. So what I would do is set the alter value to the active you put, the menu render, into alter values, and you put alter value A. Since this is multiple characters, we're gonna characters. God damn, I really suck at talking at this shit, don't I? But since we have multiple characters, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna put this in. Usually you can put it here. They're right here. So if you don't know where it is on your keyboard, or make it appear on your keyboard, you go there. And then we're going to add +1 and then put another bracket. And we're going to type mod 4. Usually you can find it, but I just type it in because that's how it's better for me. So there you go. It would look something like this. Now, what we would do next is that we would always add an always event. Right here, you know, hit the gear, special, and it's always the top thing. But to make sure it switches, we're not the always event. Now we're going to change. We're gonna want to change the fucking shit. Okay, let's see. Let's try and change this up a little bit, just so it seems better. Okay, let's add animation sequences instead. We're gonna add all that shit right here. We're gonna hit new. You right click down here in the animations, you hit new. The animations, you can leave it at default, you can name it whatever, but in this case, we're gonna just add this shit. Just because it doesn't matter. So this is Chica, you add her separate twitches, you add Foxy next, you can type Foxy, doesn't matter. Usually you cut them all, put them down here. Yeah. All of them. Make sure they're at 0, because we don't need them. There we go. Yeah. So now that they're in separately, just because it seems a more efficient way to do that, we're going to go on animation. Do right here, animation, change. And you see animation sequences. You're going to hit that. We're going to use some calculation. Just make sure. 11. Alright. Plus the current value, alter value, A. Okay. Then it should look a little something like this. So now that you got that, if we look into it, it should switch every 10 seconds. Let's go ahead and give it a little bit. Nice day, isn't it? There it goes. So now that I changed the animation sequences, we can get to more interesting things, like doing the twitches. Yep. Let me make sure Bonnie appears, and it goes back. Nice day, isn't it? Yep, there's Bonnie. And then with using that mod 4 thing, it should switch back to Freddy, since it'll reset. Yep. Alright. Just doing shit like this, it's magic. It's like literal magic. Can't really explain it other than that. So that's that part. You don't really need to understand that part if you don't have like shit like this. But now that we got that just part down, we're going to head and get to the next part, which is probably making the Twitch. This is probably where things get a little more complicated, but bear with me. We're first going to use an alterable value for anything, really. Doesn't really matter what, but we're going to have to add a shake effect. I want to add a shake effect into this, so we're just going to see how that goes. So right now I'm just thinking how this would go. Alright. Sorry, I gotta think of creative activities on how I could do this. Alright, we're gonna use the next outer value. Alright, every. This is the milliseconds down here. We're gonna set this to 0. We're gonna use the milliseconds down here and use something like 5. And we're gonna set outer value. Like I said, this is very important. Basically does everything for the code. I'm gonna have to set it to something random. Use the second outer value up here. Outer value B, since we already used A, you can't use the exact same ones or they'll overlap and make everything all types of fuckery. You can put a random big number, it doesn't really matter. 100, 200, 300. Like I said, it doesn't really matter, but just know, like, I'd recommend 200. just so you can get the gist of it. But yeah, we're just gonna put that. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Now we're gonna add a new condition as I just put right here. And then when you click on the active that you put for the menu renders, it says compared to one of the outdoor values. You hit that, and then in the outdoor value B list. Oh God, Fredinator. I'm gonna call it Fredinator.
Alright, bro. I made myself some food. No, fast.
Usually, Jesus Christ, he distracted me. Outer value B, greater or equal. You're gonna want to put that, and depending that we put 200, we're gonna add something a little below 200. So, like, say for instance, you put something like 300, we would put 275. Or if you put 400, we put 375. But in this case, we put 200, so we'll put 175. The higher you get it, the more, like, the longer it'll take for it to appear. But, like, that's why I put it small. But for the most part, we'll just be having it at this range and stay that way. Alright. So we add every. And then the milliseconds we have at 3. Put it on top. Doesn't really matter. But I'm a little nitpicky little bitch. I'm going to put it up here. Then what we're going to want to do is that we're going to want to randomly force the animation sequences that we put. So we right click on the thing. This is the only active in the game, so this is all we'll really be touching. So animation changed, animation frame. The first frame will be 0, so like don't try and put 1 because you'll technically be putting 2. I don't know why it's like that, but clear team logic. So no, we're not going to put random range. We're going to put random 3, since 1 is 0, plus 1, since we don't want it to randomly change the default to the default menu render. We're going to have to want to change to the twitches. So when we do that, he should start twitching. Now obviously it's not going to stay like that. This is just the beginning. But yeah. Now that we have done that, it will do that. But right now, since we added this, we'll know when to set it back. So now we're going to add a new condition. With this fat smacking ass in the background. Compared to one of the outdoor values, outdoor value B. And since we put greater or equal than 75, we're going to have to go lower than it. With 175. Make sure that's right. Gonna have to click OK. One action, one event loops. That's to make sure it doesn't like constantly like keep checking on it. This only makes sure it does it one at a time. Then we're gonna want to go ahead and set the animation frame that we had put earlier, and just leave it at 0. That way it'll stop doing that weird thing it was doing. See? Now it looks like an actual Twitch. See, it's not that bad, right? Right. Okay. Now we'll be getting into slightly more complex stuff. Just a little bit, but it makes it look better in the long run. We're going to want to insert a new alto value that we haven't touched yet, which is C now. We'll move to C. Oh, by the way, just off topic, you can name them. If we go to the active and go to the properties of the active, we can go ahead and hit new for this stuff, and you can name it whatever you want. I'm not going to name them, but like if you double click it, you can name them. Explaining stuff for me is bad. Did you know that, guys? God damn. Now we're going to go ahead and use a new alto value now. C, which has never been touched. There's all these options, but we're just going to use the main ones for now. I don't know, something random. It doesn't really matter. Because this is really for the exposition. Because we're going to be like having it shake a little bit. It doesn't really matter. If you want to go crazy and have it like at 80, go ahead. But I'm just going to leave it at 30. Something about 30. Yeah, 30. Oh, I put a slash. Okay. You just leave it at 30 right here. And then we're going to want to go set and go to the always event that we had put earlier. And we're going to have to set the X position. Like a position. Set X coordination. And then we're going to want to put random, the current value here of algebra value C. That's just that base part. Now we're going to do something a little more complicated. We're going to go ahead and set again at the always event algebra value C. Now we're going to want to go ahead and put, if I can find it, have you jumped off of a building? I have. My bad. Hi, Dad. Where is that? I forgot where it is. Okay, usually... Okay, that's because... This is why I usually type it out. Because I don't know where the fuck it is, so I just type it. But... Okay. Usually you don't have to type it, but I'm going to type it. So, we're going to have to hit max. Max like that. Keep with me, Fredinator. Because I know you're probably going to be slow on this. Alright. And we're going to have to hit max. Alter value. No! Don't do that. Don't listen to that. Max. Alter value C. Hold on real quick. I'm going to bracket this real quick. And then wait. Then put -1 on 5. Go ahead and put it. Usually it works. Triple X tactic. Hold on. Like fucking a bitch, get back in up. Then do that. That's why. It doesn't like it. Hey, Samantha. Fuck you. Oh, I'm gonna have to find it. I just wish I remember where it was. Is that it? Nah. Wait, I think I got it. No! What to do with the good together, bros? I don't know where the fuck it is. I'm trying to fucking find where it was. Where, I think I remember. I think. Trying to see. Trying to fucking figure out something. Hold on. Trying to figure out something. I can't figure it out. Hold on. Where is something else real quick? Because I feel stupid. I'm going to put 40. We're going to go ahead and do this. Insert. Compare two general values. Random 3. Leave that at 0. I'm gonna set alter value D to this 30 plus random 180. I'm gonna use every 0.3 seconds. Do that. And then we're gonna set D. No. Okay, wait. Effect. Go to effect. Alpha blending coefficient. 30. No. 30 plus alter value D. Let me be. Oh. Oh God, hold on. Wait. That's what you gotta do. Look, see the position? It may look off-screen cricket. That's because of the position. You forgot to set it. I forget to set it. So you're gonna want to get the current position of the frame render, and then use this number right here, the X position thing. You see where it says the X position that we put, like right there at the bottom. We're gonna hit edit, X position. In the front of it, we're gonna want to paste the number we put and then add a plus, and then it should fix the problem. See? Easy. My question is, what the shit did I do to alter value C? That's busting its balls. I just forgot where the hoe is. I forgot where Lee bitch is. Let me be, I'll give your Lord my soul today. It's gonna take me a while to find, because I don't know where the bitch is. I swear it's around here somewhere. I watch my red rose turn to gray. Oh, there's where it is. Okay. Wait. Sorry. You're going to want to go ahead and go to calculations, maximize of two values. Oh, fucking K. There the fuck it was. Oh my God, I'm retarded. I know I was doing something wrong. Alter value C. All of that. Then. Sure. Yeah, there it goes. Oh, that part worked though. Is it because it doesn't like me? Does it hate my fucking guts? Or what? Secret Peter. Oh, wait. Okay. Wait. That's what I did wrong. Okay. I'll redo my mistakes with you guys. Calculations. Maximum. Alter value C. Okay, behind the comma right here, don't go in front of it like I did. You're going to put -1, and then behind the comma, you want to put a 5. There it goes. Okay. And then we're going to want to do the same thing. Alter value D. Same exact thing. Calculations. Maximum of 2 values. So it'll be like this. And then we're going to add the current value of alter value D -2. No, 2. and then 0. Huzzah. 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 Fuck, someone's called me. Okay. Sorry. All this will be completely unedited so you can see my mistakes and maybe redo it with me. Alright. So now all this we got done. Let's go ahead and see how it looks. Looks a lot better now, right? Usually we'd let that go. But no, we're gonna add a little more. Looks cool though, doesn't it? Okay. Now, usually we get our shaders from our friends, but since this is a video exclusively for our friends that want to learn Click Team, you guys will have the same effects as I do. So, usually we make one at the top and we go to the size down here and we put the exact same resolution as the resolution of the game. 1280x720, it does it all for you. And now that you have Snap to Grid, it'll just, be right into the frame. It doesn't really matter about the position. We won't really worry about that. Not right now, anyway. So now that the width and height are exactly as the game resolution, we can go ahead and double click into it, click this paper to make it completely blank, and then add I don't know, random shit. Like just use the bucket, put a random color, it doesn't matter. We're gonna use orange. It'll be a big ass orange screen, but don't worry, we're gonna add an effect over it. Properties, active 2, effect, go ahead, none, and hit edit. You need to find an effect. Here's my messy ass effects folder. I'm gonna have to hit sign offset. I'm gonna use this, sign offset. I'm gonna double click into that. I know in the fucking shit it looks goofy and all hell, but trust. We're gonna wanna memorize these. See this wave thing? That's what we're gonna be using. No. Actually, better. We're gonna use the zoom. These that are in brackets, we're gonna learn and use these because this is the most important name for the effects to work. So we're gonna use zoom and waves. Usually for the waves, we'll just change it to something random. Like let's go to effect, set effect perimeter. Since we remember the name of it, we're gonna put waves. It differs for different effects, but we're gonna hit waves. And then the perimeter value, we're gonna want to set it to like anything you want. Like when we just did like some random math value with alpha value C, we can tie it to that so it won't be too retarded. So we're gonna go ahead and set alpha value C of the render active we use, alpha value C, and then we're gonna go ahead and put like some random division with this a slash, and you can put like 3.0. And then we can see how it goes. So it looks goofy right now, but we got it to do what we wanted it to do. Okay, now we go effect, set effect perimeter. Then we're gonna go ahead and put zoom. And then we're gonna head and put, might actually change it. Actually go here, edit. Change this to zoom instead. Zoom right here. We'll put this in zoom. Change this to zoom. Then in the new one, we're gonna go to effect, set effect perimeter. I'm gonna put waves this time. And then we're gonna go ahead and put something random. Like this value. No. Random range. No. Random range. 1,000. Something like 1,000. Or something lower. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can put like 900. Shit, you can put 9,000, but I wouldn't recommend it. 800. 900. Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna put 900. I'm out. 1,100. And we're gonna see. As you can see, the more intense and shaky he gets, the shakier the screen gets. And we're gonna have one more effect. This time we're gonna use the layer object. So usually you would have it. You can search it up on the toolbar if you can't find it. Layer, and it looks like this. Drag it wherever, doesn't matter, and don't worry about where you put it. We have it in, so that's all that matters. Layer toolbar works. You can make layers depending on where you want to put things. If you want to be like clean, you'll put shit like that. And you can hide it, you know, like with the eye, or you can hit the mask. The mask does it depending on which layer you're on. It'll only show that layer. But I'm gonna turn that off and hide this layer. For the first layer we put, we're gonna add the effect. So you can name the layer right here where it says on top. You can put like main. And then you can go ahead and put an effect on it. Effect. In this case, I have chromic aberration made by Radimus. Best effect ever. And it'll look like this at first. See where it says the amount? Put it at 0. So now that we put that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to layers, by name, effect, set effect perimeter. Since we named it main, we're going to put main. And then something like amount. Since we use chromic aberration, we use amount x. Wait, no, we're going to have to lowercase this because you have to put it exactly how it is. Amount x. And then something like random range minus current value of outer value C, and then maximum just outer value C again. No minus. And then we're going to put division, which is a slash. Something like 3,000. And then you're going to put a dot. Make sure to put a dot at the end. Out of anywhere, it doesn't matter. Now that we put that, it should work. By the way, remember when I said that depending on the effect, you're going to have to remember this? It always shows this in the brackets. You're going to see this. Amount X or amount Y. Since it was amount X, we have to put amount X into the code. That's what you're going to have to go and learn. This shit right here. So if you ever wonder where you have to put it in the effect perimeter, just look on the side of it. The side of the shit, it says it right here. It should say it right here. Whatever that says, you put it like. Let's add another example. Another active. I don't know. We make it whatever you want. You add an effect, right? And we see something like let's scroll up a little bit. Something like background blur. It does something like this. See how it's F, like FX, FY? This is what you're gonna have to remember. This shit right here. This right here. So whenever you want to make an effect, that's what you want to remember. Now we're gonna want to hit save or Control S. It'll actually where to save it. Go ahead and put test. Bam. Easy. I'm gonna just save again. With everything we added, it'll look something like this. Pretty hot, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Now, usually, that would be it. But I'm going to add a little more to it before I stop. We're going to add the title now. So, we're going to go to strings. I'm going to type in strings. I typed it in wrong. String. This. Jesus Christ, that scared me. Okay. Usually it would look like this. We go to the properties of the string and see where it says the two A's. We change the font right here. Oh, well, look, see horizontal, vertical. Let's put those both in center and change the color to white. Right here. Then we go to the font, whatever font you have. I'm just going to pick a random font like this. Change the size, by the way. All of your options to change the size stuff will be here. One, type it, whatever. One, withered test. Okay. So now that we have the string, we don't really need it for anything other than that. We're going to right click on the string, create, active object, and then this. Gonna have to hit the string. When you create the active object, make sure it's in like pink or something like that, because if you put it in white, nothing will show. And that's retarded. I don't know why it does that, but penis. Anyways, now that we added the text, we can go ahead and name them. Go ahead here, title. Be organized with their stuff. Please name them, because they're gonna haunt you in the end if you don't. And then this shit right here. So now we're gonna add more advanced stuff. Let's add groups, by the way. So right click on an empty space, and then like the number, right click on it, insert, group of events, name it whatever, menu, or in our case, we're gonna drag it on top, like you have it on another member, so it can just go on top. Grab this, make sure it's highlighted, hold shift, hit the bottom one, and it highlights them all. You click and hold and drag it into two where the group is, and then yeah, you have it in groups. You can open and close. Ta-da! So hot, isn't it? Okay. Now we're gonna add another group. Now that we know how to add groups, group of events again, and then we're gonna add title, text. Then we're gonna go ahead and set something random, like something like, I don't know. Actually, let's use calculations this time. So you see where it's put every, when we hit use a calculation, let's put something random like 500. Let's have it to where the text we just put, it sets it to something like 0. I'm gonna set something real quick actually. Okay. See the text we added? Double click on it. There should be this view hotspot. Looks like a little circle. It used to look like an eye before, but they changed it. But okay, you see where it shows like that right there? We're gonna put it into the center, so when you stretch it, because we're gonna add a stretch effect, when we stretch it, it does that. So we're gonna add it in the very middle, this very middle dot right here. You know, all this stuff, the very middle, and then it sets it in the middle. We're gonna hit OK. It may change the position, but since we put snap grid, it will just put it in a more comfortable spot. It doesn't really matter where. Anyways, now that we go ahead and did that, we're gonna do every. I'm gonna put this as 0 and something like, I don't know, no, 5. That it sets this to 1. Now we're gonna be seeing what that shit does. We're gonna compare to one of the outer values, 0. All right. Now we're gonna set the angle, the X scale, random range, 1 to 3. This doesn't matter. You can just leave that at 0. It doesn't matter. And then we're gonna add a new one. Oh, and another way to like easily make new events, grab this, drag it into like the new condition that you want to put it in, and it makes a new one just like that. And then you're gonna want to hit 1. So we go ahead and do that. And since we had this at random, at this random scale, we're gonna set it back to how it would be. So you go to scale X and you put it at 0. Perhaps, maybe not. Does that make it disappear? Yeah, it does. Okay. Wait. Leave that at 1. Okay. And let's use something like, Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm going to put out this. And then when it sets it back, it does this. So now, with this we added, it should start twitching. See? And the higher you make the number at the end, the wider it is. So since I put it at 4, it'll stretch that far depending on which random value you put. Now you can put this exact same thing. That's what I do. I highlight this, copy it, paste it, but I change it up just so it doesn't do the exact same thing at the exact same time. So since we're going to be using B, I'm going to edit it. You change this to B. You can leave it all the same, except this. Let's get rid of this. If you right click on an empty box and you like drag that empty box into a box with a check mark, it just gets rid of it. But we're going to change this to B, these two to B. And we're going to change the code to B a little bit. Something random, like, I don't know, a bigger number. 800 instead of 500. This, a shorter number. Something like 3 instead of 5. Then when B, we're going to edit this. You can double click on it. It changes it. B. Instead of X, we're going to put Y. Set scale Y. Random range, I don't know, 1 to 3 of Y. Like that doesn't matter. And then when it's at 1, it leaves the scale to Y to 1. You can get experimental with this, and it does this. And to add more to it, we can use that effect that we had added earlier. Right click, effect alpha binding coefficient, and you can use the outer value, something like outer value C or B we used earlier. Like in this instance, we'll use outer value C. So we can set, you can go on the random reput, put the calculations, you can put outer value C that we put earlier, and let's see how it flickers. Maybe not that one. Maybe the outer value D instead. We can go ahead and change it real quick. We can type it out. It doesn't really matter. Ugh. That's weird. Okay. Random 30. Plus, outer value C. Random 30, you can type it out. Let's see what it does now. I'm not sure about this. Let's try it again. Random, maybe 50 plus outer value D. Usually you would observe these and look at the, oh, that's why. That's probably why, actually. Okay. Instead of just deleting it and doing it all over again, we go to event list. I know it looks a little more confusing, but we see this code that we just added. We can just drag it over here. Oh shit, no, wait, don't do that, don't do that. Hit undo. Hit undo, you see, hit undo. Okay, why don't we drag it over here, see if it does it. No? Okay, highlight it, Control C. Highlight this, Control V. There. Okay, that's better. Go ahead and delete this. We don't need it here. Let's see what it does now. That's better. Okay, yeah, that's better. Much better. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and hit save. Huzzah! Trying to think of more stuff we can add for right now. I guess we can add the new game text. Okay, let's see. Since this is a one-word test, we'll go ahead and use this string we had earlier to make the next text on the screen. Let's say start. You right-click, create, active object, place it here. Remember the colors. And then we place it anywhere you want on the screen. You don't really have to put this on this exact same side. You can put it whatever. I think you'll get the gist. Like, it's putting 2 and 2 together. So we use this, make the next one. We'll get more technical into these menus later, but this, for the most part, is just the basic understanding. As a matter of fact, I think we should add static. Now that we add more layers, you can, like, see which ones you want to add. Like, okay, we don't need this one anymore since this is just the effect. We already used this one. So now we can just focus on this layer. I'm going to double click. Get rid of that. I'm going to make a new active. Double click on this active. Open it. We're going to use static. And we're going to go to the post 6 one. Let's go to post 6. Static. Yeah, whatever. We'll just use this. Since this is in numbers, we can just go ahead and import it all. Like all this is, yeah, all this is fine. Why the hell is it doing that? That is disgusting. Oh, okay. See, that's exactly why we add the transparent color to something like pink. So it doesn't do that. I'm gonna hit loop. There you go. Now usually when you add it in, it'll be over the thing. Usually you right click on it, order, and you just put it to back. And it puts it all the way in the back of the thing. Now I'm thinking, I should do this. Should I completely make it invisible for right now? Or should I calculate its shit? Wait, I have an idea. We're going to keep it simple for now. I'm going to do it to where we add a new condition. Since we just implemented the static, add a new condition. The gear compared to general values. I'm going to use this active 5. This is the static effect. Alpha blending coefficient for it. Lower or equal to something like 210. And then gonna wanna right click, effect, alpha blending coefficient, right click. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. Effect, alpha blending coefficient, plus something like, it doesn't matter, +1, +2. The lower it is, the slower it is, the higher it is, the faster it is. So if you put +9, it'll go away quickly. But I'm gonna put +10 just because, like, whatever. You don't really care to see it. But since we added that every 10-second deal, we can add every 10 seconds. That means because every 10 seconds that appears, the character will change. The character render will change. So we're gonna right click on that. And then set the alpha blending coefficient to the static to just 0. So when we run it, it should do that. Now when a new character, see? Easy. Now we're gonna go ahead and start adding sounds. Usually how I would add a menu render or anything, whatever, you just go ahead and add a new condition. Start a frame. Since I have play sound over frames, I go to samples, stop any sample, click on the samples again, play and loop a sample. And then we go ahead and do that. In this case, we're gonna add a random sound from post 6. Just pick a sound, whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's see, menu V2. Make sure this is at 0. Here's 0, where it continually loops forever. And it should look like this. Jesus! That's loud. Well, whatever. That's the gist of it. You can go ahead and right click on samples and then set sample volume, but that doesn't really matter. You can go ahead, put it in, change the volume 0 to 100. I don't care. I don't know. 44 makes it quieter, makes it louder. It doesn't really matter. I don't care. What else? We're gonna go ahead and do this shit. I'm gonna add a new group. group of events hovers. And since we added these texts, we can highlight them both. If you click and hold on an empty space that has nothing on it, it'll do this. Make sure this box is over these two objects. It'll highlight them both at the same time. Go to the runtime options, which is the little play button. And you say where it says use find detection, turn that off. So we don't need to make like a blank object like it does in those weirdo ClickTeam tutorials. Now we're gonna go the mouse pointer and keyboard thing with the keyboard, the mouse. Check for mouse pointer over an object. And then we go ahead and hit start. Since we just put that, we can go ahead and drag it, right click on the new one we just made, and hit negative. And then we're going to go ahead and insert on the new one or the other one we just put, limited conditions, only one action when event loops. We use this to play another sample. This can be whatever. Again, you can put it whatever you want. In this case, I'm going to put it as a beep. And then we're going to go ahead and use this one we just made for the sound to hit alpha blending coefficient. We leave it at 0 for this one, and for the negative, we drag this we just made on over to the negative one, right click on this, edit, and something low, like 150. You can put it like whatever you want, just don't put it past 255. And 255, even then, is way, like it'll be practically invisible at that point. So we just go ahead and put it at that. We copy and paste this. We highlight both of them. Copy, paste, double click on this small little thing, like literally this small thing. And we can use this so you easily just transfer it over to the extras. So now that you put a new small little icon, you grab that, put it on over there, and it changes the active just like that. It saves time for me. And you drag them all over and delete them. I know that's a little fast and complicated, but I swear it just makes everything easier in the long run. Unless you want to do it the long way. But since we just did that. See? Now, last thing we're going to add is a fade, and that should be it for this menu since it's that simple. It's that easy, y'all. New layer. Since we have the mask on, it'll hide every other layer except the one that we just entered. We're not going to go ahead and do that. We're going to show every layer now. So right click on an empty space with nothing on it. Double click, I mean. Active. Yeah, we're gonna put that in the space. We're gonna put this black. So just put it black. Like this. You know, you can put the bucket all the way at the bottom. And then put black. Then we're gonna change the width of it to 1280, 720, like we did earlier. And since this is new, I hate that. Hold on. If you want to change it to like black, you can like double click on this right here. All this stuff you could double click where my mouse is. Go ahead and hit custom. You see where it says red, green, blue? 1, 1, 1, 1. All of it. And then you just made a new color. And you just go ahead and put it. Now it's a little different. Alright. Now we just made that. We can go ahead and continue what I was doing. Hold on. Alright. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Right. Fade. Fade. Wait, no. Group event. Group events. Fades. New condition on that. But since the fade we just made, we can go ahead and compare it to one of the observed values. We're going to leave it at 0. Insert on the one we just made. Special. Compare to general values. Effect. Alpha blending coefficient. Lower equal 255. So it'll look something like this. Then we right click on that one we just made. Effect. Alpha blending coefficient again. Right click on the fade. Effect. Alpha blending coefficient again. And something like plus 10. Since it quickly just goes to it. Now when you restart it, it does that. 7 looks a little too fast, or 10 looks a little too fast. Let's put it at 6. Lower it is, the slower it is. See? Anyways, let's say we have it to where we want to hit start and it, go ahead and does the fade. What we're gonna go ahead and do, actually, real quick. Wait, before we do that, let's go to menu here. See where it says always that we made earlier. Samples, set sample volume to beep 2. And then we set, you go to the sound here, sample volume, menu v2. Make sure you do it to exactly the file name is called on the game. So whatever you have the file name as, type it exactly here. Curve value. Divided by 455. Oh shit, hold on. That. Yeah. Oops. Hold on, let me look at an all MFA where I did it real quick, because I feel stupid. Hold on. Real quick. Oh, okay. My bad. Okay. Wait. Let's do that again. Set. Sample volume. Menu V2. Effect. Alphabetic coefficient times or divided by 4.55. Yep, there it goes. So my bad. Do it like this. What I just put. Anyways, new conditions. The mouse user clicks on an object. Go ahead and do this. Start. There you go. I usually set it like that. So when it's at 0, even though we just put, it'll be looking like this. This is bothering me that it's not named. The fade we just put, name it fade. The effect, orange, name it effect. And then the menu render we put, call it main characters. And the static we put static. I'm just right clicking them and changing the name right now, because that is bothering me. Start text. Extras text. No, not test. Text. Oh, text. Thank you. Okay. So now that says the name, alter value fade. We can go ahead and set 1 to the fade. And then copy and paste the same thing. Double click on the little icon right there and put extras. And then we go ahead and set that to 2. So for the start, we had it to 1. For the extras, we put it to 2. Wait, no. Okay. Fade. Compare. Greater. Then we go ahead and set it. Do we need this? Nah. Okay. For real. Okay. Let's try that again. Alter value. Greater. Leave it at 0. Let's say, for instance, when it's like this. Greater or equal. We change it. Greater or equal. You can drag it like this into the one we just put, and it'll look like this, and then you can double click and edit it. That's what I do. Valentine, I watch my red rose turn gray. Sorry. Effect, alpha bending coefficient. Effect, alpha bending coefficient again. -10. something like -5. I'm gonna add another one. Equals 1. When ends with this, we just put this in, drag this in, lower equal. It stops. And usually it jumps. You make a new frame, like load. I'm gonna name this menu. You know, just put this load frame. Since this is the new game, we'll go, or yeah, the start game, we'll put it in load. Let's say for instance, we copy and paste that. We just put 2, that's it. And let's just say it ends the application, since we don't have an extras frame. We'll run the application with this right here, or F8. Yeah, and it'll go to the one you just put, or for extras, it just ends the application. Okay. Usually we add this so we can fix the bug where it doesn't make the noise. Let me go ahead and add that too. Usually when you click, you add a little sound that plays when you do it. Let's go ahead and, yeah, go ahead and put that. Yep. And that's it. For the most part, that's how you make a menu. I added the effects and the static, which doesn't really matter, but you know, that just gets the gist of it down. Yep.